In order to sell you something, they need to convince you that you have some kind of problem that needs to be solved. First, they create a certain feeling inside you, and this feeling is usually some kind of feeling of not being enough. And it doesn't matter in which area, it doesn't matter where. They give you this feeling of not being enough. And this is exactly where the whole idea of self-improvement culture comes from. So today I wanted to share my thought about this topic. So let's continue. They show you exactly what you are missing. For example, they tell you you are not attractive enough. And then they offer you a solution to this problem. For example, they show you exactly what you are missing. For example, they tell you you're not attractive enough. And then they offer you a solution to this problem. For example, I don't know, you need a new skincare routine, you need new clothes, some new procedures, changes in your appearance, and so on. And the same thing happens with confidence or success. For example, a person can be made to believe that they are not charismatic enough or not prepared enough to achieve something, and they can be told, you need to take a new confidence course, you need to learn how to speak correctly, you need to change the way you communicate, and only after that, supposedly, you will be able to start making videos, building a business, or in general, bringing your ideas to life. So first, a person is given this feeling that something is wrong with them, and then they are offer a solution to this problem. And I decided to talk about this topic because this is extremely powerful psychological mechanism. People dive into this self-improvement industry and try to fix something inside themselves that actually doesn't need to be solved. It doesn't need to be fixed. And I see this everywhere now, and honestly, it scares me. And I want to suggest that when you have this desire to change something about yourself, stop for a second and ask yourself, why do I want this? Why is the reason I want to change and improve myself? Because so many things start exactly with our internal dialogue. I have already said many times in my videos, how important is it to catch your internal dialogue, and what are you telling to yourself? How are you talking to yourself? So yeah, let me give you an example. Two different people both want to start sport. One person does it from a healthy place. For example, this person understands that sport is a way of taking care of their health in long term, and another person wants to exercise because they think, oh, when I lose weight, people will love me. When I lose weight, I will become more beautiful, and blah blah blah. So, and these two people can both go to the gym and in general work on themselves, but their internal dialogue is completely different. And I will definitely make a separate video about internal dialogue, about inner critic, and why is it so important. This is a huge topic. So right now, it is important to understand one thing: do not fall into this culture of constantly improving yourself, because it will lead you to constantly being unhappy with yourself. And before you start doing something, like I already said, whether it is a course, a habit, or new purchase, always ask yourself, why am I doing this? Do I actually need this? What is the reason I need this? Because this idea that exists in the self-improvement industry right now, this idea of not being enough is everywhere, and you're not beautiful enough, buy this cream, you buy this cream, you use it. After some time, you have a new problem and you realize that you are not, I don't know, thin enough, and they tell you, buy these vitamins. And this becomes an endless cycle. So first, self-improvement industry, they create this feeling of not being enough, and then they offer you a tool that supposedly will help you remove this feeling. I'm already getting emotional about this topic. So if we talk about developing yourself, healthy self-development is exploration, I would say. It is when you are genuinely interested in something. What can I do today? What can I learn? Healthy self-development has curiosity, interest, energy. What can I learn? I will take this course and I will learn this, and this. So this course is not a guarantee that something inside me will change, that I will somehow fix this feeling of not being enough. No, it is simply a course so that I can gain something, some experience, knowledge, so on. So this self-improvement culture is very popular because it connects very well with our fear of not being enough, and it is very easy to sell this idea of becoming better, or rather fixing ourselves. I want you to ask yourself, maybe you're already a person who doesn't need to be fixed at all. And I already touched on the topic of comparing ourselves with other people, but I want to mention it here too, because it is actually very connected, because Instagram, TikTok, and other social media platforms have completely changed the way we see ourselves. We have access to thousands of people every single day, and we see people who build business, who look perfect, who travel every day and everything like that, and naturally we compare ourselves without even realizing it. But I want to say, hello, wake up. We compare our inner world with someone else's external image, with their outside world. It is impossible to objectively and realistically compare your internal world with someone else's external picture. So there are several main messages of this video. First, be more critical about what people offer you on the internet, especially the self-improvement culture that I talk about today, and pay attention. Do I actually need this or not? And also be critical about psychological advice. Even this video, please evaluate it critically, because sometimes under the form of psychological advice, people offer one universal answer that supposedly works for everyone. And the second conclusion of this video, or rather the most important message, allow yourself to simply exist in the state you are in right now, because when you're constantly focused on improving yourself, you forget how to simply live, to live your life, your ordinary routine, because this obsession with who we should become, how many courses we should buy, and how much we need to improve ourselves to become even better. At this moment, we completely stop noticing who we already are. So as you can see, the self-improvement culture constantly gives us tools that supposedly can fix you. You can finally become calmer, accept yourself, love, and blah blah blah. But life is happening in the present moment. It is happening right now, you know it. I hope you liked this video, and I hope it was useful for you. Write some comments. I would really love to read your thoughts, how you feel about this culture. Have you noticed this desire in yourself to constantly improve yourself? Or maybe, I don't know, after watching this video you started noticing it. So yeah, thank you so much for your attention to this video. Bye.